So, about 4 months ago, I had my Cambridge English interview, which was really nerve-wracking. However, I did manage to get an offer, thankfully. So, today I wanted to share some of my top tips for how you can ace your Cambridge interview as well. If the interview were a type of show, it would be an improvisation, not a polished performance. The interviewers, obviously, it's not like they want you to get the wrong answer, but they're not only interested in whether you get the right answer. They're really interested in the process by which you work out your answers. So if your answer isn't quite right, it doesn't necessarily matter if you've used an interesting thought process to get to that point. So it's really important that you actually show them that thought process. If they can't see what you're thinking, then they have nothing to go on. They only have your final answer. But if you show them your whole thought process, they're able to see the way that you think as a unique individual, which is what's really important to them. This could be just going through the evidence that has helped you to get to that opinion, or the different sides of the debate that you're weighing up. But whatever you do, just make sure that you're explaining how you got to the point that you come up with. We all have a habit of starting to speak too quickly when we get nervous, but this can make it hard for the interviewers to hear what we are actually saying, especially if the interview is online. It also gives us less time to think through what we are saying. If you think about the pace that I'm speaking right now, I have a fair bit of time to think about the next thing that I'm going to say, compared to if I was rushing through each sentence. So try and keep it at a pace where you can think about what you are saying. Another good tip is to start your answer to each question by saying something like, that's interesting, or that's a great question, to give yourself a bit more time to think through your answer. There is an idea that Cambridge interviewers are always trying to catch you out. I can't say that this has never happened, but generally this is not the case. They actually would rather help you out and enable you to shine as a candidate rather than just see you fail because of some tiny detail where a little nudge in the right direction might have saved the day. So sometimes they will actually try and give you a lifeline by nudging you in the right direction or helping you fill in an answer. If this happens, take the lifeline. If you start talking about something again and again, but you notice that they're trying to pull you away from it, go away from the topic, take the lifeline. Don't just continue going down the path if you feel that they're trying to pull you away. Don't be afraid of ambiguity and uncertainty. The interviewers are not looking for a perfect, finalised answer to every question. It's okay if you're a bit unsure. A good way to deal with this is to actually sketch out the different factors that are weighing into your decision. Like you could say, well, on the one hand, I'm kind of thinking this, but on the other hand, I'm being pulled towards this and this. It's okay to do that, and it actually makes it look as if you're committed to finding the truth and weighing up the evidence before coming to just an easy to reach solution. This also goes for if you forget the name of something that you know you should know. Say you forget the name of a character in a book that you've mentioned on your personal statement. It's okay, they're not going to chuck you out just because you've forgotten the name. It's a very high pressure situation. Instead, you could just say, oh, you know what, I'm just experiencing a bit of brain fog right now because I'm very nervous. And just try and sketch out what character you're talking about, like this character that interacts with this other character in this scene, so that they know who you're talking about, even if you've forgotten the name. The interviewer might challenge something that you say in the interview, either because you've made a mistake, we're all human, or because they want to push you to see how far you can take your ideas. For example, you might be talking about A Doll's House, and you might say that you appreciate the feminism in the play. And the interviewer might say, I'm not sure about that. Ibsen himself said it wasn't a feminist play. What do you think about that? When that happens and the interviewer challenges you, do not get defensive, but also don't think that it's over, that you've said something completely wrong and that's it for you. They want to see how you respond to constructive criticism and that you take it in a productive way. There's loads of different answers you could have to that question. You could either say, that's interesting, I didn't know that. Could you tell me a bit more about why he said that? And get them to help you fill in some of the gaps. Or you could say, I'm not sure if the author is the only person who determines meaning in a text, because it's often been interpreted as feminist by directors and people putting on the play. Either of those is fine, but just make sure that you're not getting defensive and that you're not just crumbling because you think that you've said the worst thing ever. If they're challenging you, it probably means that you might have said something that needs a little bit of direction, but they want to see where you're going to take it. They're interested in what you've got to say. Hopefully those tips can help you in your Cambridge interview. Let me know if you've got any questions about any of the tips in the video, and follow my channel if you'd like to see more Cambridge and general study related content.